So this video is going to show you how to make a dot plot from a quantitative data set. So what I want to do is I want to make a dot plot for the number of accidents in the F16 data set. And I'm going to use this command right here. And essentially what this is going to do is this is going to count the number of times each specific number occurs. And I won't go into the details of how it does that. We can just kind of take this as a given command. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to enter this command. So countif. One of the things you have to be really careful about is you have to enter this exactly the way the command is written. There can't be any deviations. So you need $signs on both sides of the first B, the number 2, colon, $, capital B, 2, comma, B2. Any deviation, you'll mess up the command. And when you hit enter, you'll see 1. In other words, it's counted the number of times that value is in that cell. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the pull down command. So just like before, I'm going to put my cursor here. You could repeat the command, but there's really no reason to. And I'm just going to drag it right down. And you can see that it's counting the number of times each distinct value occurs. So if you look at 3, there's one value of 3, there's a second value at 3, a third value at 3, and so on. And now we're ready to make the plot. So what we do is we left click on the first column, hold the control button, left click on the second column. So we select both of them. Whenever we make a plot, we always have to go to the Insert tab in Excel. And you can click Recommended Charts. And it doesn't quite give us what we want. We want a scatter plot, but there's different scatter plots. So I'm going to click on All Charts, Scatter. And you can see this is the one that I want. That's the dot plot. So I'm going to go ahead, double click on that, and there we go. There's a little bit of formatting we might want to do. For example, notice that the plot starts at 1, and we'd rather have it start at the bottom, right? We don't really have a y-axis on a dot plot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on these numbers here on the y-axis. Let's see if I can get this to work here. Okay. That's not what I want. Let me try it again. There we go. So you have to actually click on the bar and select it. Sometimes it's a little tricky. There we go. Okay, so that's what I want. Okay, and then you'll see a thing called Axis Options. And you can also go to the top menu, but it's just easier to do this. So what took me a little time was I had to make sure that I selected it and then I left double clicked it. And you see that these things come up, these options. I'm going to reset the minimum. So right now on the y-axis, the minimum's at 0. I'm going to reset it for 1. Okay. Notice that brings it down here. And now I'm going to actually click on it and just take it out. Again, it takes a little while to select. I'm left clicking. You can also make you can also make a finer grid on the x-axis. I'm going to take this out first. Okay. But if you wanted to go down here, suppose, for example, you wanted to look at every single value, you could do that too. And again, I'm not going to bother to do that, but you have a lot of different options. Okay, that's pretty much all you need. And of course, what I would want to do is I'd want to always add a title. Okay. My axis title. So this is going to be number of Class A accidents per year, or you could say number of yearly. And I would put a title on here. chart title. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a while to click in here. Okay. Oops, I have to do it again. Okay, so I'm going down to chart title, and I'm saying above. Okay. One more time. There we go. Okay. All right. Double click in here, and I might say, you know, it's hard to get the first click of and for some reason it's not going in the thing, so I just have to click back here. There we go. Okay. And this data was collected from 1986, I believe, to 2014. Oops. I'm just going to scroll down and make sure I got the, no, 1988. Okay. And so to make it look nicer, we can make this a little wider, and there you go. And that's all you need to do with DotPlot.